Alright, Nati Moti. What a place. Yeah, it's actually very beautiful. I'll tell you all about it. Oh my. Yeah. It's like going into the future. That's for sure. Alright, Nati Moti. I hitched all the way from Nelson to Nati Moti into this valley. I remember it took 4 rides to go or to come to Nati Moti, and I remember seeing orchards and airstrips on the way. It's quite beautiful, actually. Easy on it. That was it's close to Mochueca. When the orchard started to appear, and I remember I started walking from the airport and coming into Richmond, where I then got picked up, and the lady who picked me up asked where I'm going, and I said Mochueca, and then she said, "Wow, I know the perfect stop for you to hitch from." And she dropped me off at this road cross, which only goes to Mochueca, and so I hitched from there, and after a while, someone picked me up. And I don't remember where it was from, but he couldn't take me all the way, so he took me to this spot where he was going to turn off. And I don't know exactly where it was, but I said yeah, and then he dropped me off at this like this worst place possible that you can hitch from. It's like in the middle of the highway, no place for cars to pull over, and it was like, oh my god, what what am I doing here? Or well, what am I gonna do now? So I tried to hitch there, but it was impossible. So I just started walking, like just continuing along the highway on the side of the road, and hoping that it would get me somewhere. Um, oh, you remember that bag that I had with me? That huge backpack? Yeah, I left that one behind. I wasn't gonna bring that because that was the one thing that I learned from this trip, or from yeah, that don't pack heavy. Just pack light, be light. Go with go with the heart. Go with your heart, your intuition, and just be happy and smile. I mean, yeah, that was the only time that I actually needed all of my equipment. On all other places, I didn't need that. Um, but I didn't know that. I mean, I had planned to stay in Kinkin for 4 months or something, so that would have been useful. But didn't happen that way. So, but anyway, that might have been a reason to why it felt so like uh, like moving around was yeah, it wasn't very inspiring or intriguing for me to do that because of that heavy backpack. Holy cow, it's heavy. But yeah, I left that one behind going to New Zealand. I just took my small backpack and like, this is great. That's awesome. Uh, but anyway, yeah, with the highway, I remember like coming to a house with like these brutal dog, like these aggressive dogs just barking at from the house, and I waited there for a while at the intersection, but I realized that my chances of getting a lift from there was slim. Uh, so yeah, I remember I walked up a hill, and the next till the next best place to get a ride from, and it was quite a walk actually. I don't remember how long, but yeah, it was a bit. And mm, 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 yeah, yeah, and yeah, exactly, and because I don't remember who it was who picked me up, but someone must have did, but I don't remember that one like who picked me up from the highway. Oh, maybe I have a vague memory, but anyway, so yeah, someone must have picked me up. Nice lady, anyway. I think it was a nice lady, and she dropped me off to Mochueca at the McDonald's, and from there I asked directions on how to get off or how to get to Natimoti, and the lady in the store she pointed it out to me, and so I walked again a couple of miles. That's how it seemed anyway, and before someone picked me up, and he was from Germany, and he was a woofer as well. And at first he said he wasn't going my direction, but then he pulled over, or he came to me again and pulled over and said, "Hey, I'm going your way." So hopped in. So yeah, I jumped in into his van, and Yeah, he took me all the way, all the way to the door. Actually, it was just quite nice, quite yeah, so nice to get rides. I mean, it's awesome. Hitching is yeah, it's best. It's great. I remember being so scared of it. I like when we were hitching with you guys, like wasn't wasn't comfortable with it or something. But it's amazing actually. I've only hitched since then, so it's awesome. Yeah, I remember a misty cloud or a bit of a rainy day actually. It was raining like all the it was quite weird because all of the farms that I went to the first day, like coming to Kinkin, it was rain. Uh, Coming to Crystal Waters, it was rain. Coming to New Zealand was rain. So it's like rain wherever I went. Oh well. Uh, the first day, which maybe was a good sign, I guess. And I had yeah, I had no idea what to expect. I had this mysterious feeling about this. It was yeah, it was, and yeah, I got to see all of these orchards and vineyards and sheep pastures and farmland all through the valley. It was really nice. And I arrived on a rainy day, which it had been on all my previous first day arrivals on farms, and no one was home when I got there. They were out for the day, it seemed, but I waited for maybe 10, 15 minutes and they arrived. And at first it was Silas and another woofer. Silas said hello and his name, and then Mayu from China as well. And then I saw Shiloh and Lani. I remember the first time I saw them. Shiloh, he looks like Moses, like no joke. He looks like Moses. he, yeah. And Lani, she looks like this good witch, like impossible to get a clear read on. Like her eyes are cloudy as the clouds themselves, and like so deep. She feels like she has, yeah, it's so deep. Um, and then Arla. I said hi, I'm Lucas, and shook her hand. She said Arla and smiled, and after that she took me around the property to see all the things around. And I remember the tour of the tree house that she built, and the peaches and plum and fig trees, and as well as the avocado and persimmons and olive trees and chestnut, hazelnut. What more? Yeah, and as we just climbed the slopey hill because they were on a slope, most of it. And yeah, she showed me where they make the apple cider and cracked nuts, and was as well as the root cellar and ponds, and pretty much like all of it, and even the bike track that they had when they were kids, and when they used to go on with mountain bikes. And Shiloh and Lani, they grew up in the Swiss mountains, and Shiloh was a mountain guide from the beginning, and Lani used to work in one of the hostels there, and they have a picture of the house up on the wall. And yeah, on my first days, I got to spend time there with Shiloh. He showed me some trees that needed to be pulled out because they were invasive, and so we dug them up with a mattock. And he also showed me where some of the wild berries are growing. No, so wild blackberries, which needed to be pulled out, and because they spread and unpleasant to step on. So this was just temporary work because by the time the trees had become fully mature, they would shed out the grass and the blackberries as it had on other places on the farm. So I'm not sure if farm is the correct term for this place since there are no animals there. They had no animals, and garden would be more appropriate. I only got a I only got to spend a week and a half with Shiloh before he went to another farm in Coromandel, which is in the northern part of New Zealand, which I'll tell you more about later. So we did apple juice, and from that they did vinegar, which they sold a little at a little stall actually down the road. They sold their produce on Koha, which means donations. So they didn't put any price tag on there. You could spend as much or as little as you wanted. It was just a big letterbox, and people could come by and pick what they liked and give donations. And in there, they sold what was in season, 8 months of the year, I think. In winter, there wasn't enough to give to the store, but they didn't need to. I mean, they got everything they needed and more from that. I mean, one of the most memorable things was when we went into town to do some errands with Shiloh, Lani, and Silas, I think we were going to get a new inverter and a new washing machine, and the way things happened was almost like magic. I mean, people gave us the right information and tips on where to find good deals and where to look, and so we ended up buying up almost unused second-hand washing machine that was better than the last one, and then also visiting our old friend Neville, I think his name was, and he had an inverter that he was also barely been used, and he was going to sell it for $2,000, but he got it for 800. I think, and he fixed the cables for him as well with it. So, in fact, most of the things that came to them like came from people's gifts and all of these things. I mean, but in return, they have given so much back, or they have given so much just out of because they want to, because they feel that it's the right thing to do. That's what needs to be done. Yeah, in fact, they probably gave first and then received the gifts from the people coming by and stopping there, like all the books and clothes and just things they're giving to them, and Shiloh and Lani and Silas and Arla, like they're so strong in the truth and just give back that, as well as food and accommodation and rest for the soul. I mean, people have been there and rested and found a home for a while and been taken care of. I mean, when I was there, I mean, I've never felt such incredible peace while being there. I was there for 2 months. It was the most beautiful place I've ever been to. I could have spent my whole year there, no problem. Yeah, like it felt like coming to some kind of magical or alternative world. Like very hard to describe, but it was so calm, so peaceful. Yeah, I'll tell you more about it in the text here. Like I've never felt such peace at any place like this. It felt like health, harmony, peace, and truth. This place was the truth. However, there is always room for interpretation, creativity, and harmony. It was not strict and rigid, since they were not into any kind of religion except for the truth. Like what they felt was life giving. They listened to their hearts and honed them and honored them, learned to trust and act upon it, and magic happened. This place was almost too much for me, like almost unreal. Yeah, it was like too much. What they have achieved is amazing. And I also got to look at their photo album by the end of my stay with them. I'll tell you all more about that. Just, oh, yeah.